Hello everybody and welcome to The United Stand. This is your Manchester United Transfer News Daily, where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. And you know what? I tell you what, let's start off with a deal that's not going to happen. It's not about Ligt, it's about Jadon Sancho. CEO of Dortmund has come out and said, look, he might not be here in a decade, but I can guarantee he will be here next season, which is pretty much what we've been thinking for the last month or so anyway. I think a couple of months ago there was a chance that Sancho could come to United, but the instability, the fact that we're in the Emmerdale Cup, I think that has ruined any chance, and I don't think that's going to happen now. And also, the CEO is going to look a liar if it doesn't happen of Dortmund, isn't it? So I think we can park Sancho. Unfortunately, it's another big deal that would have made us very excited that we can't do. But I think this is where, when we talk about Ligt, there's two things I want to say to start. The deal's not off with Ligt. It was never on with Ligt. So if you're excited on Saturday night because of the source close to Barcelona saying that we were close to a deal, and then you're devastated on Sunday because Sky Sports and others are saying that the deal's off, at the end of the day, just don't jump on either of those stories. Just have an open mind towards it. The reality is, De Ligt has always been favourite to go to Barcelona, and he probably will go to Barcelona. But it's not over yet. It doesn't mean he's definitely going to go there. And it was always a stretch of the imagination that it could happen anyway. The problem is, we want a significant signing at Manchester United. We want a signing to make us feel good, because we've had, and you know, let's have a harsh reminder here. We finished 6th in the league. We were absolutely crap. We're in the Emmerdale Cup, and we are where we deserve to be. And the transfer window, no matter how much we want it to mask and hide and make us and boost us and make us feel better, just look back to the end of last season when if you feel disappointed about Sancho, or if you feel disappointed about De Ligt when he signs for Barcelona, look back to where we were and tell me why a 19-year-old, one of the best centre-backs in world football at the moment, would choose Manchester United over Barcelona. Take away the fact that you're a Manchester United fan, what would you choose? Go and play in a fantastic city where the weather's fantastic, where you're going to be playing deep into the Champions League, where you're going to be winning titles, where you're going to play with the world's best player in a fantastic stadium? Or do you want to go to Manchester United, play on rainy nights on a Thursday in the Emmerdale Cup with Ashley Young? What are you going to pick? You know, you're going to pick Barcelona, and the reality is, I think they're talking that the Barcelona deal had been sorted for 2 months and United were too late to the party. I don't believe that. But if there's any truth in that, this is the problem about not having a director of football. We heard last week that we tried to get Julian Brandt late on, and he had already agreed his deal to Dortmund. We're now hearing that De Ligt's already sorted his move out to Barcelona, and we're too late. Well, if we're too late, that's ridiculous. I don't believe Manchester United are too late. I think what's happened with De Ligt, if we don't get him, is we've tried to get him, and he's chosen Barcelona. We are not in a powerful position. We're not in a powerful position as a football club. We will lose out to better players again this summer. It could be a very, very challenging summer for Manchester United, because where we are as a football club, it's unstable. It's been proven for 6 years, and also we are in the Emmerdale Cup, and we're not going to win the league next year. So De Ligt choosing us would have been a sense. I said it would have been the signing of the summer, not just for us, for the whole summer. It would have been an amazing signing to do it. It could still happen, but I don't get why fans are getting angry about the club. Oh, we're messed up. We've messed it up. Of course, he's going. We're massively under. If he chose us over Barcelona, obviously the money helps, but it still would have been a massive, massive deal. I think the club saying they're not interested in De Ligt is probably to do with a couple of things as well. It's like it's saving face, and it's the reality that we tried and he's going to go to Barcelona. You're not going to say that publicly. So, look, but having said that, if you thought he was coming on Saturday night and now you think he's not, the truth is, go back to Friday night, because that's the truth. He's not signed for anybody yet, and there's still a chance. But if United pull off a signing like that, I'd be amazed. And I think this is where we need to look at people like Harry Maguire, because if you sign De Ligt, also maybe Riola. I mean, Riola's greedy. Mino Riola's greedy. It's great when it works out for you. Mino Riola is the agent to Paul Pogba and De Ligt. When it works for you, it's great, and you go, yeah, we got Pogba, we got Zlatan, we got Lukaku, yeah, look at us. And when it doesn't work for you, you realise what he is as an agent, and what a lot of agents are, they're greedy. And Mino Raiola may have said to United, look, he's going to Barcelona unless you give him 300 grand a week. And I would hope that United said no, because we can't. As much as I'd love to sign De Ligt, do you want a player who's coming here just for money? Or two, do you want to destroy your wage structure even further? We've got to sort the wage structure out. And Harry Maguire's not as good as De Ligt. And Harry Maguire's not as good as Koulibaly. But he's better than everything that we've got. And Harry Maguire would probably come to United happily for 100, 120 grand a week. He would play for that shirt. He's an all-action player. And that's the sort of player that we need, and we don't mess the wage structure up. So look, if we end up with Harry Maguire, I'll be happy because it's better than what we've got. And it also befits what we are as a football club. Let's not get arrogant here. We are 6th best team in England going into the Emmerdale Cup. Harry Maguire would improve as he would be a good signing. Koulibaly's looking unlikely. Ligt was always tough. But let's take the positives here. You can't start... I see fans on social media going absolutely mad. Oh, we aren't getting Ligt. It's a disgrace, this, that and the other. How are we ever going to get that signing? I think even if United were champions of England, it would still be a tough signing. It's a ridiculously tough signing to make, and I don't think it's fair to actually go in on the club on that. We will have to wait until August to judge how the club does this transfer window. But on De Ligt, let's just wait and see what happens. It was never going to be decided for a couple of weeks anyway, so let's see. And also, that Barcelona source was pretty good. I'd put him ahead of Sky, so, you know, there is hope. Let's just see what happens with it. It could still be on. What are deals? Deals that are still on, and I think every deal Manchester United are going to do is going to be challenging. I want to talk about Memphis, I want to talk about Thomas Partey, I want to talk about Rakitic, I want to talk about Bruno Fernandes, look, in relation to centre-backs, let me just say Sergio Ramos has been linked to us. He's 33 years of age. He had his chance to come to United 3 years ago, and he didn't come. And fair play to him, he won 3 Champions Leagues in a row, so you can't argue with that. But Sergio Ramos at 33 in the Premier League, it would be intriguing. It would be intriguing, but again, you can't. What's the future in it? 2 years and he's gone. So it's not the right signing for United. I'm not even going to, and I'll mention it on the Transfer Daily because it's been mentioned, but that's about it. Another silly story I read was in the Express. There's that Pogba deal to Juventus. They want to give us Dybala and Alexandro. I mean, on paper that looks like quite a good deal, doesn't it? You get Alexandro and Dybala for Paul Pogba, but it would be a ridiculously bad deal for Manchester United to do because you get 2 players that you don't need. Good players. Alexandro is a very good left back, but we've got Luke Shaw. Dybala is a very, very good player, but he's not really what we need, and we lose a player that we do need. So I think it's a load of nonsense, but you know, what are your thoughts on that? Thomas Partey, lots of things developing around him. We know his agent is putting it out there that he is available for £44 million. That's his release clause. Maybe he's doing it to get a new deal from Atletico Madrid. Maybe he's doing it to get a move. What his agent has come out and said is that, yeah, there's talk of Inter and other clubs, but I've not spoken to anybody yet. So Thomas Partey is interesting. I mean, United, you hear from United that, oh, United aren't going to do anything about midfielders until they know what Paul Pogba's future is. I mean, that really is. That's like being at the ball or on a night out, and there's a girl that you really, really like, and she's stood on her own, waiting for someone to dance with her, and you're stood at the bar sipping on your Pepsi, and you go, oh no, and your mate's like, go and have a go at her now. She's looking at you. She's giving you the eye. No. I'm going to have another shandy, and I'm going to wait for the perfect song to come on. That's when I'm going to do it. Well, I've just been and spoke to the DJ and they ain't putting the Lady in Red on for another 10 songs. Somebody else might ask her to dance. No, I'm going to wait for Lady in Red by Chris de Burgh. It's an absolute classic, and when that comes on, I'm going to ask that lonely girl over there who's giving me the eye to dance with me. And what happens in between, in them 10 songs, 4 or 5 other blokes come up and ask her to dance, and she probably dances with them, and you've lost your chance. And so that's why I do not believe that Manchester United, in relation to Thomas Partey, Tanguy Ndombele, we've heard this a few times now, United are waiting to see what happens with Pogba before they move for the midfielder that they want. If they do that, they're going to be stood on the side of the dance floor watching somebody else dance with the girl they should have asked ages ago, and that's bad transfer tactics. And if that happens, we'll know in August, won't we? But I don't believe United would do that. So if Thomas Partey is available, Manchester United need to be moving for that sort of quality player. And if we're not moving for him, then I would be slightly irritated if he goes to Inter Milan, because Inter Milan is not as good as a Manchester United move. I don't care. We can be 6th, Emmerdale Cup, whatever. Manchester United is a far bigger move than Inter Milan, and that's a deal that we should be looking to do every day of the week, and he is available. So if he stays at Atletico Madrid, he was never available anyway, he just wanted a new contract. But if he moves, we should be looking at these sort of deals. And it's a fantastic deal in the modern market to know that you get Thomas Partey, 25 years of age, brilliant midfielder, for £45 million. And actually, doesn't matter if Pogba stays or goes. Use part of your transfer budget for that, because Pogba will be a better player for a player like him with him. So, yeah, I think we've got to move on that. Memphis Depay is not linked to Manchester United. 25 years of age, playing for Lyon, playing up front mostly. Decent season, sort of faded in the second half of the season. Remember what I said to you the other day. Lyon's chairman has come out and said that Fekir will leave, but they will sell 2 other players. That could be Memphis, it could be Dembele, it could be Ndombele. There's other players that could move, but 2 players will be sold by Lyon in addition to Fekir. Memphis Depay has been linked to Liverpool. Liverpool fans are starting to get excited about signing Memphis Depay. Well, Manchester United have got a very big say in this deal. We've got a buyback clause with Memphis Depay. Would we turn that buyback clause down to let him go to Liverpool? Very interesting. Would Memphis Depay go from Manchester United to Liverpool? Of course he bloody would. There's not a lot of people would do that, but of course he would. He hasn't got any loyalty to Manchester United. He does tweet pictures and instas of people like Beckham and stuff like that. But I think he'd go to Liverpool. And to be honest with him, why wouldn't he? Just because you played for United, should you go to Liverpool? It didn't work out for him at United. He didn't particularly get treated that well at United, I don't think. Liverpool are one of the best teams in Europe at the moment. They've just the second European Champions League final in a year. So, but Manchester United have got a big part to play on that. And what I wanted to ask you lot, because I don't know where I sit on this, if Leon give Manchester United a phone call and say, look, we're going to sell him to Liverpool if you don't buy him back, what do you do? I personally think you let him go to Liverpool. I do. I don't think Memphis Depay is a player that we need. I don't think it's... I just think if we got Memphis back, the publicity, oh, he's back, I just don't think it would work out, and it put a lot of strain on Memphis and on United. So I think if Liverpool wants him, we're going to have to say, let him go. But you lot might disagree with me on that, so get your comments in below. That's what happens. If Liverpool want Memphis Depay and Leon are willing to sell him, they've got to phone us up and say, do you want to buy him back? Otherwise, we're going to sell him to Liverpool. What would you do in that scenario? With regards to centre-backs, Harry Maguire, he's starting to think positive about that. Thomas Partey, do you really think United are waiting to see what's happening with Pogba before they go and get midfield targets? Because it will be a case of snooze, you lose. Back in the nightclub, ask the girl to dance. Forget Chris de Boer and Lady in Red. Talking about midfielders, Rivaldo's come out and advised Rakitic not to leave Barcelona for Manchester United or any other club. Good. Well done, Rivaldo. Don't want Rakitic anyway. 31. Got absolutely dominated against Liverpool. Not the sort of midfielder that we need. Very, very good midfielder. But in 2 years' time, he'll be finished and we're trying to build for the future. So not the sort of player that I would want at Manchester United at all, to be honest with you. Bruno Fernandes. I would keep an eye on Bruno Fernandes. He is going to be part of the Portuguese squad, I believe, for the UEFA Nations Cup. But very, very good player. Manchester United are after him. He's going to go to Man City or Manchester United. And I tell you what, I bring him up again because I know I spoke about him yesterday, but there was something I didn't say yesterday that I wanted to add about Bruno Fernandes, and that is this. If Bruno Fernandes picks Man City, we've got to be very, very careful about how we react to these things. I've seen it with Ligt, and I think it's wrong. I think it's accumulation of being pissed off with Manchester United transfer windows for not just the last 6 years. It used to happen with Sir Alex and no value in the market. We've had this for a long, long time. United transfer windows are normally quite frustrating. So if De Ligt goes to Barcelona, it's annoying because we've been linked to him, but we've fallen into the trap, and he was always favourite to go to Barcelona. Can you blame the club for trying to hijack the deal? No. If they don't get the player, they've not done anything wrong. What can Manchester United do to get De Ligt to come from Ajax instead of Manchester United, instead of going to Barcelona? Oh, we're going to give you a load of money. I want to play for Barcelona. But we've got the Emmerdale Cup. We've got Ashley Young, Phil Jones and the Chuckle Brothers. They're really funny in training. To me, to you, they're hilarious. We've got... What else have we got? We won't be fighting for the title, but we fight... The fight for fourth is much better than winning the Dutch League. Yeah, come to Manchester United. And he's going to... I'll go to Barcelona, but thanks very much. Good luck for the future. So it's a very hard deal to do. And it's the same with Bruno Fernandes. We've scouted Bruno Fernandes. We want Bruno Fernandes, and he would be a very, very good signing for Manchester United. But if Man City come to us, Bruno Fernandes probably won't know that much about what a banter club Man City are and how they've got no fans. He'll find out when they wins a trophy for them, and one man and his dog walks past and says, "What's going on here then? I thought you were like a mime artist because there's nobody watching him." But he probably won't be aware of that yet. What he will be aware of is Pep Guardiola is one of the best managers in the world. Man City play amazing football. Man City have won the last 2 league titles, and Man City have big, big aspirations to win the Champions League next season. Manchester United, well, we've got Ashley Young as captain. Ashley Young's getting it a bit today, isn't he? We're 6th in the league. We're hoping to finish 4th next year. We're on a massive rebuild. It might not work. We've tried this 3 times since Sir Alex. This one might not work either. Oh, right, okay. I think I'll go Man City. And what are the chances of me getting loads of goals and assists like I have been doing at Sporting Lisbon? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. We're pretty shit in the final third. But you've got people like Lukaku that you can knock the ball into and try and get it back. Yeah, it's a potluck, really. You might score a few, you might not. Man City, Pep, how many? You'll get loads. You'll get absolutely loads. Look how many goals Raheem Sterling gets. And he was crap before he came here. So, I can see why Bruno Fernandes might pick Man City over us. And if he does, I can also see United fans going into meltdown. But as I said at the start of the video, this is because of the frustration about who we are. We mustn't forget who we are. We're the 6th best club in England, and we're in the Emirates Cup, and we've been crap for many years. We are still the biggest club in the world, I believe. Definitely the biggest club in England. We're Manchester United, and we should never forget that. But when it comes to this transfer window, maybe these stories around Ligt and Sancho, they make you think, oh yeah, we can do those things. And we can do it. I wouldn't be surprised if Bruno Fernandes did sign for us. We can do it. But if they don't sign for us and they choose other people, we've only got ourselves to blame, because we've made big mistakes over the last 6 years. We finished terribly in the league, and players might look at us and go, you know what, if things were a little bit more positive, of course I'd choose Manchester United, but at the moment I'm going to choose something else. And we've got to be careful about that, and I think if we're critical of it, you've got to be very dangerous, because we don't have that right at the moment to expect a top quality player to pick us over other more attractive options, I'm afraid. So we'll see what happens, but I hope that we can get some signings in that are going to make us feel excited. I really do, because we have had a very, very tough season, as we know, and it's not nice being in the queue waiting to be picked, isn't it? It's a bit like a game of football when you used to play down the park and you get your 2 captains and there's a line of you and they start picking players. We're used to being one of the first players picked. I'll have you, Manchester United. Now people are, you're nearly getting picked with the crap kids, who can't even play. You're like right down. You're 7th or 8th pick. So we've got to get used to that, and we've bloody got to get back to being first pick. Anyway, please do smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get your comments in below. Transfer Daily every morning, 7 a.m. Monday to Friday. Interesting show today. I would say it's quite an upbeat show. I think a realism is very important. I think we're getting carried away with ourselves. And the reality is, if Ligt picks Barcelona, why wouldn't he? If Bruno Fernandes picks Man City, actually, why wouldn't he? But you never know. You never know. And also, how stupid do all these in-the-know people look like? Oh, well, my source told me that De Ligt's done. Well, you made it up, didn't you? And I bet your source is telling you something else now, as I predicted. Their source will be telling them now, it was so close, but Barcelona came in with an improved offer at the end. It's amazing what bullshit you can put out there and lie, isn't it, to try and be in the know. Which is why we tend to cover the stories that are out there and don't go off on, I've got a source. You can have a theory. My theory was that I still think we're in for Koulibaly, but we're probably going to get priced out of it by Napoli, unfortunately. But we'll see. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like. Back again at 8 o'clock tonight, unless anything else happens today. Have a good day.